What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. And if you can hear me, please let me know where you tapping in from and what is it that you love to do. I appreciate you all spending this time with me because I know that your last minute holiday orders, your gifts that you are making and or shopping for your family members and friends, those are all just knocking on your door right now. So, you all even taking this 1 hour with me for this 9 p.m. Freebie Friday class means a lot to me. So, just let me know what it is that you love to do. I'm going to do a demonstration tonight for basically like a Canva versus Photoshop. And I want to show you all how to do some things in Canva. I will show you some of the limitations of Canva. And then I'll also show you how we will do it on the Photoshop side when it comes to doing our design. And you all asked me about possibly doing like some 3D effects on text in Canva. So I have a solution for that for you tonight. I just want to know, is this going to be helpful to you? And I want to know to what extent so that I can give you all this energy every week. I'm building on the skills that you all want to know. All right. All right. Oh, you're learning from scratch, Miss Keisha. Okay, California. Hey, let's go. Good evening, Lisa. Amora Donna. Hey, my love. What's up, Tina? Camden, New Jersey. All right, Jersey in the building. You are most welcome, Miss Sadie. Tampa was good, my love. Tampa in the ATL. All right, so we just finished this class. I'm going to go ahead and just save my little work and close on out. And we're going to get, like I said, this was not even a class we were supposed to have tonight. But while I was working on a resource, I just wanted to make sure that I was showing Craft Quit. And I'll let you all see on YouTube for free, for the free 99, how I was working on that as well. All right, so you'll know we just finished this class this week. This was class number 295. We did a very simplified version of a memorial design. And the reason why I wanted to start simplified is because sometimes we are our own worst enemy when it comes to designing because we get so much into our heads and we push and create so many different intricacies when it could really be so simple. But like Lauren Hill said, but you'd rather make it hard. Y'all don't get me started singing tonight. That is not what you didn't come here to listen to me sing. I don't think that was called singing though. That was just a little humdrum. But what I want to show you is how we can basically use pre-set up elements. So this is a template, right? It's supposed to take you 5 minutes to flip this template to your subject image, change out your background, change out the text, and change out the colors. That's as simple as it gets. So when we do our challenge, starting not this Monday coming up because we're taking the week off for Christmas, but after that, we're going to do Canva on Monday, AI on Tuesday, Photoshop on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, we're going to do some multi mockups with the mini Automizer. I'm going to take you through this even if you're a beginner designing from scratch. But I'm going to show you why we're starting where we're starting and what we're doing with these resources. So do I use Canva? Yes. Obviously, y'all see the Canva popping up on this screen. It's got a lot of stuff on it, okay? But what I want to do is I want to give you an idea to why I choose Photoshop as my preferred program. Not just because I learned it first, but this is our Photoshop design. This is the 13 by 19 version of the Photoshop design. I want you to notice a few things here. The layer mask has a softer layer mask that is really ideal for sublimation. Inside of Canva, we have to use harsher, what we call vector frames. But in Photoshop, I can use a layer mask that can have soft, transparent edges, and I'm not restricted to how I can cut off my image. In fact, I fade off my image quite beautifully all of the time, and I really don't like hard lines. Okay, so I'm just giving you that comparison there. Second comparison I want to show you all here is fading off the image. So if I fade off the image of the gentleman here in Photoshop, you'll see, and I'll show you the actual demonstration in Photoshop. You'll see that he's actually faded at the bottom here, so I can move him up, down, wherever, and it's transparent pixels at the bottom. I don't have to worry about covering him up with any type of shape. Inside of Canva, I do have, and I'm going to show you my little cheat here. And I'm going to be giving you all this file when we do the challenge. So you'll have this for our Monday file, and we'll actually be adding a little bit to it. But if you all are wondering, will you get this Canva file? Yes, you will. Okay, this is how we're going to start learning how to design. We're going to start on Monday with Canva. Number one, it'll teach you basics about designing: foreground, background, text, and colors. That's really all you need from a client to make a design. All right, we complicate it when we go beyond that. All right, so I'll pull apart these elements here. So this is, the foreground is composed of this subject image, and it also has these text layers on top of it. So all of these text layers also make up part of the foreground. The background here is this AI image that we made. So we made a lot of heavenly AI background images. So you all will be able to kind of get this concept where it looks very intricate, but these are very simple pieces, okay? So background, subject image plus the text, which equals your foreground, and then your colors. So from here, I picked colors from the background. I saw the color of the lake was like this beautiful kind of slate blue, but kind of tealish. And then I saw this light blue in the sky. And that's how I created my color palette. If you're doing a memorial project and, there is a certain colorway they want to go with for the decor and the florals and the casket, then you might let them tell you what colors to design from. Okay, I just use the image itself to give me motivation for the colors. All right. Now, part two is kind of like a little bit of a step up, and I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm just explaining the why before I give you the how. Okay. So this one is a little bit of an upgraded version of what we can do in Canva. You'll notice that the text does look metallic. I didn't get the bling effect inside of the text because it just wasn't offering that, okay? Wasn't giving what I needed it for it to give. But it's still inside of Canva can look very dynamic. It can look extremely upscale, and you can charge more than just flat text, okay? I want you all to know that you can do this. However, I will show you that this basically does what Photoshop does, but not efficiently, okay? So I'm going to show you the whole process, all right? So if y'all are ready to begin, go ahead and give me a 100 in the chat. All right, and then I'm going to get designing for y'all. And let me show you. Basically, this is the inspiration image here. This is from class that we did this week. These are all AI images that we developed this week as well. So on Tuesday, we do AI. And then on Wednesday, we do Photoshop design. All right. And on Friday, I touch a little bit of Canva just to let you know I can work with Canva and you can too. But if you know Canva, you also know Photoshop. All right. Okay, cool. I see enough 100s in the chat to get this thing going. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this just so I don't mess anything up here. All right. And then what I'm going to do is pretty much I'm going to delete everything out of here. I want to show you some things. So if I delete all of my text here, let me just go to position and delete everything except for the background right now. Okay. And I'm even going to unlock the background. I'm going to delete the stuff out of the background. Okay. So in Canva, what do we call that? We call that a frame. Okay. Now this frame is very different than the layer mask that I have in Photoshop because my layer mask allows for transparency around the edges. It allows for softer fade offs. If you see there's some faded areas around here. If you pay attention to this one, there are hard edges and it has to be vector. So I created this vector mask from a non-vector mask. Okay, I call it sublimation mask, but it doesn't have to be sublimation. All right. So in order to drop the image in there, I'm going to come on over to my uploads here. And I'm just looking for my background image. Like I said, it's very simple. I can literally rebuild this really quick, just showing you these simple steps. So background, I'm going to drop it and it drops inside of this frame. If I want to change it, I can double click on it and I can kind of resize it, change the focus area. And when I get it where I want it, I'm just going to click outside of this area and it's beautifully clipped there. Okay. I'll also be showing you how to do this in Photoshop. No worries. Now, if I want to build the text here, I'm going to show you, I'm not going to redo this text from scratch. Why? Because I got to show y'all something. I'm going to copy the text from this side and put it here. And then I'm going to ungroup it. Why is it grouped? Because it is two different pieces. If I want to change his first name, let's say his name is John. Then I have to change it on that one and the next one. And sometimes I can't get to it, so I have to pull this one on top just to get to it, just to change his name. Now, don't change the size or location or anything. You're just retyping the text. So now I'm going to pull this one back below. All right. And then I can select these two by holding down Shift. I'm going to select the top one, then the bottom one, then Control G. Guess what Control G does? Group. Guess what Control G does in Photoshop? Group. So you think Canva got it from somewhere? Like I said, if you know Canva, you know Photoshop. All right, so I'm grouping those now so that they move together. Okay, however, if I ever want to change his name, I definitely have to change it on both of those levels. Now, if you look at my Photoshop version, the Photoshop version has several different layers. It has the main layer that's got a bevel and emboss. It's not just flat. I'll zoom in a little bit. So it's not just flat. It's got a little bevel, a little puffiness to it. And then it's got an outline here that looks metallic. It's actually got two metallic outlines. And then it has a drop shadow. Okay. That's not happening so much on the Canva side. Okay. You see how we got there? We can do that, but we can't necessarily get that whole metallic look, okay? Not with just Canva itself. I had to use a special app in order to get the first name like this, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So now, and the other thing is it's not showing me my fonts there, so I'll show you that in just a moment what's happening there. So I'm going to go to the apps, and this is the app I want you Canva lovers to take down. Type text maker into your app. So if you go to apps, let me go back and show you how I get to apps. So let's say I was on design. I'm going to go to apps, and then here I'm going to type in text maker. All right, and you'll see this M, this gold M right here. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to go back from the preset so you can see exactly which ones I use here. Now, they do have some really cool effects. They have some that look like neon, some that do look metallic and that sort of thing. However, they do have some that you'll see the word Pro. That doesn't mean that you can't have to have Canva Pro. I believe it means that you have to have the Pro version of their software. I'm not sure, though. So I would just be aware of that's number one. It's a whole nother plug-in, a whole nother app. It's not Canva itself, and on top of that, it may cost extra. So things stack up. When you think a program is cheaper, just understand that it also needs to be able to save you time and save you money, much greater than it does costing you money. So Photoshop for $10 a month, $9.99 a month for Photoshop, I think that it is well worth it for all the benefits we're going to get out of it. All right, so let's see, the one that I used for this effect. Okay, now I'm just gonna copy it over here so I can use it for reference. All right, let me hold down Control so it doesn't snap inside of that frame. And then you'll also see why I often go to my position and lock that background. Anything that has a frame, I'll lock it. Once I get what I want in there, just lock it. because you're going to get mad at every time you hover something over it. It's just snapping inside of the frame. All right, so I want to make this first name here, but I'm going to show you how I made it. So going back to my apps, going to my text maker app. Let me see if I can remember which one I used. It was a gold one. It was called Golden. There it goes, right there. Okay, so I'm going to put John here. If I can spell John. All right, and then I'm going to change the font here. So the font that I'm using is Animal, but it's not in here. I believe it has to be a font that they have. I don't believe you can just download your own font for this program. So I'm going to go with a script. So I'm just going to type in the word script, see what kind of script fonts it gives me. I'm going to go with the Rouge script. I think it's pretty. Now it is giving me that in gold, right? I want it silver. So I'm going to tell you how I'm going to change it to silver in just a little bit. You can customize these colors here. But y'all, I am not going to do it that way. That is too much drama, okay? I'm going to show you how I can keep it gold here, and I can play with changing some settings later to make it either blue or silver or whatever floats your boat, finds your lost remote, okay? So once I have it and it looks good to me, I like my shadow colors. I do want to keep my shadow color black and neutral. So now, here's the thing. If you don't have the pro version of this, you can only export the medium resolution of this text, not the high or the maximum. So if you're going to go put this on banners, backdrops, big old 8-foot tall photo boards, and all of those things we've been learning how to design lately, be aware that you're probably going to see some pixelation. Okay. So I'm kicking it with medium because that's what medium is going to afford me to do in this program. All right, beautiful. And it came in gorgeous. Love it. But it's just not my color. So I'm going to go up to edit. And then I'm going to go to adjust. And if you come down here to color edit, you'll see that it thinks that there's some green in that, which it probably is a little bit of green, and some gold. So I'm going to take the gold here. And if I want it silver, I'm going to bring the saturation completely down. Why? Because a color is a color because of the saturation. Once we pull the saturation out of it, it is a gray. So if it's a dark color, it'll turn more like black. If it's a light color, it'll turn more like white. But because it is this kind of softer gold, it's going to turn to silver. Okay, so it's basically going to turn to a gray. Now, I can show you how to change it to a color. If I crank the saturation all the way up, it's going to be as intense of a color that it can be. And then I'm going to change the hue just so I can know where my hue is going, right? So I see blues, I see purples, I see pinks, oranges, greens, teals, and then I'm back to blue here. So if I wanted to make this, let's say for instance, the blue, I can get a blue here, but that blue is way too intense. I want this serene lake blue, this slate blue. So slate blue is not a very bold, saturated color. Slate blue is much more gray than it is a bold, saturated color. So you see how when I move the saturation down into the grays, I'm getting more of that softer, subdued color. Now the brightness is, if I go all the way up, the brightness is going to give me like a lighter, brighter, skyish blue. Or if I bring it down, it's going to give me more of that slate. Sometimes even if I want that navy blue, I'm going to bring my saturation up just a little bit, my brightness down. And then if I wanted more of a navy blue, I would even change the overall brightness here to get it a little darker. You see that? So this is all color theory. And we do this all day in Photoshop, but I was very happy when I saw that this was a feature being brought to Canva, because this is how I understand color. This is how I understand manipulating things. I do not want you all to go into that program and change each little level, because it had 12 different places where you could have changed the gradient colors. This way it stays gold. I can always revert it back to gold, but now I can adjust the color accordingly. Okay. All right, so that was that feature. And y'all let me know in the chat, is this stuff helpful? Is this what y'all want to see inside of this Canva program? Because I'm also going to show you what this does in Photoshop so that you understand the difference in the programs and how you can get more advanced on the Photoshop side. But for some of you all who are creating even just your motion graphics inside of Canva, it's still helpful to understand these concepts. All right, cool, cool. All right. So let's say we got John here. I actually really like that font. Okay, so I'm going to take out first name. I got my John here. We have some comparison here. Next, I want to show you, what I do here? Something's not showing. Let me check my position. And then let me check to make sure. Let me just refresh this. Reload the tab. Because I don't think I took the background off. I sure didn't. So I just refreshed the tab and it showed me my full image. All right, so if you see at the top here, I got the In Loving Memory in blue instead of the silver. The first name is in silver. And then the last name, I did a different effect. Let me show you all how I did that one. So for the last name, I'm going to go back to that same app. Where am I? All right, so I'm going back to my text maker. And this one, there was a blue with a gold outline. And you just kind of have to know what something's capable of, and or maybe just be willing to try it. I think it was one of the first ones because it didn't look good when I first saw it. All right, so this one we're going to put last name, and I'm going to do last name in all caps. And then I'm just going to choose a different font here. There we go. And the inside color is blue. So I can customize the colors. Remember I told y'all you can go in here, you can change all these colors if you want to. But I know that the color blue is one of the easiest colors to change, especially when you have like a blue and a yellow. So I am going to change those separately. So I'm just going to hit add to design. Right, I'm going to upscale it a little bit here. All right, and then I'm going to go to edit. And again, if I go to adjust, I'm going to scroll down here to my yellows. If I want it silver, I'm going to pull the saturation all the way down. Right, if I want it to be a little bit darker silver, I can make it a little darker or lighter. And I'm going to leave it lighter because right now the color blue is dark. Now I'm going to take the color blue. And this is not my color blue. Again, it's dark, but it's not really what I wanted. And I want this color to be lighter. So I'm going to bring the saturation up just so I can see what I'm working with. I want it to be a little bit more subdued blue. So I want to bring the saturation down, but I want it lighter. So I'm going to bring the brightness up and bring the saturation back down. And then if I change the hue, you can see here, am I getting a greenish kind of blue or a purplish blue? There we go. And then if I want it a little bit brighter, see how I can brighten that up and get it lighter there. There we go. All right, so I'm just showing you how you can manipulate colors inside of Canva. We do the same thing in Photoshop. We actually have more advanced opportunities to do it in Photoshop. But you all said last week, that's why I want y'all to come to the Freebie Friday class, because you tell me what you want me to teach you and show you, and then I can do a little research and come back to the table the next Friday and show you what it is that you said you wanted to see. Okay, so y'all said last week that you wanted to know about how to build a design with a frame. You said you want to know how to do 3D text inside of Canva. This is as close as we're going to get to that. And then it was one more thing that you all said you wanted to see. Oh, the fade off. Okay. So this is how you achieve a somewhat fade off. It's kind of a cheat, but we're going to make it do what it do. Okay. I'm going to go here to my layers, and I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is something I actually made this little gradient in Photoshop. Believe it or not, I made it in Photoshop, brought it into Canva so that I can, and I'm going to turn transparency off so you can see what I did here. So this allows me to at least give some kind of softness to the edge of my images. So if I just saw that hard cutoff line there, I would not be happy. So at least this gives me that opportunity, but it does put a solid color down there. Okay, so I could choose whatever my solid color is going to be, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. So I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to go ahead and paste it over here. Oh, I lied. I did not copy the right thing. Let me go back. I'm going to grab this one. And I'm just going to copy with the right click, so I make sure I copied it. Paste it here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, I'm going to move these out of the way. That's the other thing I really don't like, that I have to like move stuff and move layers in order to touch on stuff. But I will say this, it is a very powerful tool, and I'm not discounting the power of it at all. However, I know what's the most powerful, and I'm going to, whether you know it or not, I'm going to get you on the Photoshop side. Trust and believe. All right. But the reason why I know Canva is because I already know Photoshop. All right. So for this area here, if I want to change it, instead of blue, I want to change it maybe to that cream color. I can go to my effects, and then I'm going to go to duotone. And then where it says highlights, I'm going to use the color picker tool, and I'm going to pick one of these yellows here, maybe a little bit darker yellow. Okay, cool. Now, of course, it is not exactly my clean way. See how Photoshop allows me to just make it transparent and I can actually see the water underneath? I'm not going to get that out of Canva. So I'm not going to have any expectation of that. I just want you not to have that expectation. But this is a great workaround. All right, so now I'm going to go in and bring in my photo. Now, one thing I truly do love about Canva is that it has a beautiful background remover. I believe it uses the Remove BG AI. It does a great job. So I'm just going to bring in this image here. This is our AI image from our AI class this Tuesday, which was AI 55. So we've done 55 AI classes so far. What I'm going to do is just use the background remover here, and it did a beautiful job, and it kept those wings, kept this little fishing pole there. It took out the line, but that's fine. All right, so I'm going to get that where I want it, and then I'm going to go to position, and now I have to drag this layer on top and kind of position it to where it could go. It could kind of go. By the time I put my text on top, so then I'm going to put the last name on top here, move it down, then put my first name on top, move it down, and you'll see that it's there, but at least I don't see the hard line of the image. So that is one of the ways, and some people use like the little circle gradient, and they'll put like a whole bunch of circle gradients all around it. I don't like doing that much work to achieve a design. So this, to me, I'm going to show you a quick way that we do this in Photoshop, which makes it super easy peasy. All right, so let's see, did I get all my components in here? And then like for the in loving memory, I would have to do the same thing. Either I would have to create the 3D text again, or I would have to take the word John. And then I'm going to Alt click and drag. I don't know if you all know this shortcut. It's a shortcut from Photoshop. If you hold down Alt or Option on the Mac and you click and drag, you'll get a second copy. So I'm going to double click here and put in, and turn off my caps lock, in loving memory. Now what happens here, this is too big. So if I reduce the size until it's one line of text, I have to remember what my size is going to be, because that second one has to be precisely the same size. So I'm going to choose 90 as my size there. And then I have to go to my position, because this is grouped. I have to ungroup it, put the bottom layer on top so I can touch on it. I'm going to change this size to 90. Then I can type in loving memory. And then I'm going to go to position, drag it underneath again, take these two, Control G to group them, and that's what you have to do on the Canva side, okay? All right, so eventually, if you take your time, you could do that with a sunrise, sunset. I don't like playing with that, y'all. Like, it's just a little too much for me, but I'm showing you how you can work with what you have until I believe that you'll get to where you want more out of your design tool, okay? And I'm about to show you more. All right, so I'm going into Photoshop now. All right, so on the Photoshop side, I'm going to show you basically that everything's already formatted. So for instance, for the text here, if I go to my text one, I'm going to open that up, the text here, double click on that T, and this might be Williams, and I was typing too fast, WILLIAMS. And see how I'm typing that, and then my diamonds that are inside of there are still there? Like, I actually have diamonds inside of there, y'all. That's Photoshop, okay? Then I'm going to come up to my first name here, double click on that, John, John, boom, it's done. It has my metal around the edges. It has my little bevel and emboss. You see, I'm getting my little 3D look there. All right, and then in love and memory, if I wanted to put like forever in our hearts, double click on the T, forever in our hearts. Let me zoom out so I can see. RTS. Okay. Okay. Also here, if I want to make the text arch, I can double click here and I can come up to the arch text and give it an arch here. Hit OK. All right, now I also have this thing in here called a smart color. So what a smart color is going to do, let's say right now I have like this really deep kind of teal with a little hint of like a slate blue to it, and then I have the sky blue. But let's say, he likes the greenery better than the blue. So I'm going to go ahead and change these colors up. Let me go ahead and pick the colors first. So I'm going to use my color picker tool here. And let's say I'm going to pick some of the forest green, maybe like a little bit of that kind of olive-ish green there. And maybe I'm going to go more for like the golds. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now color number 1. I'm just going to double click there. Now I make these templates be this easy, y'all. Photoshop really does not inherently, become this easy, but it can be once you get the hang of it. All right, so I just duplicated that layer, and then I tapped on the green that I created for my swatches. It changed that color. So now my primary color is the green, like a army green or olive green. And then I'm going to duplicate this layer here because I want to keep those colors for later. That's why I duplicate them. And I'm going to go with this yellow color here. It's not quite a gold, but it's like a really pretty sunshine yellow. And you see my text automatically changed here. Now, one thing I didn't change is my color. Because I arched my text, my color shifted. So I'm going to put my little color layer up here to cover that up. Make sure that I have plenty of space to cover my text here. Okay, so now we're going with like a gold and green thing that quickly. right? And if I wanted to change out my background, like this is a background I have from a previous project, my background changes that quickly too. Now, for those of you all who don't know, this is a master template, and I've actually cleaned it up a little bit and added some things to it. So what you'll find is if you go to File, Automate, and go to your generator plugins and you have image assets turned on, which I should not have had it turned on while I was editing. That's why I was going a little slow. But with this check mark on, this means that the entire time it was creating magic for me inside of my folder. So I have the name of this file is 295 with Memorial Lake at the end. So I'm going to go to the Memorial Lake assets. It created that folder for me. And look what it did. It gave me the full image all together. And I'm just going to pull the preview window so you can see here. Full image all together. It gave me the background just by itself. It gave me those clouds just by itself, because sometimes I can bring these elements into Canva, y'all, and I can make a cool motion video with just these elements. Y'all don't believe me? There's my foreground. Remember I told you about the foreground? So it has that text plus the image. And see how my image is faded off here? There is no hard white area here. This is transparent, so it will blend with any background I put it in front of. I have my photo here, which is blended off by the bottom. And then I have my text here that I can use inside of my Automizer. All right, so I'm ready to use those elements to design. Do you see how fast that was? You see how we didn't have to like push and do a whole bunch of tricks to get something out of Canva? I didn't have to use any extra apps. And inside of the Photoshop class, y'all, we actually did something with this background, and I'm going to show you one time how to do this so that you know how you can use AI even inside of Photoshop. So what I gave you all for class, I gave you all a couple of images here. And one of them was this lake background. So I'm going to drag and drop the lake background into here. But you want to make sure that you're already selected on the background you want to go on top of. And let's see, there it goes. All right, so that's my lake. Now you notice when it comes in, it's going to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. But if I make this thing so big, like, hey, yeah, I can make an Oliver shirt. If I'm not making an Oliver shirt, I will not know that that's a lake. Okay, so that's why in this class, I let you all practice using the generative fill inside of Photoshop. So I'm focused on this area like, hey, I'm probably going to make a 13 by 19, but if somebody's ready to go all over, or if I'm going to make a backdrop out of this, which I will show you all how to make a backdrop out of it, that's my focal area. Now I need some extra meat outside of here to cover up these sleeves or to cover up the rest of this backdrop. And in order to get that, I'm going to double click on the image here, zoom out just a little bit, use my crop tool, and I'm going to hold down Control and Alt at the same time. And when I pull on one side, it stretches out the other side too. If you're on a Mac, the options are Command and Option to do the same thing. So I'm on Control and Alt. I'm holding it down even as I talk right now. When I let it go, it's going to give me an option to do Generative Expand, then Generate. Okay, now what AI is doing right now is it's imagining what type of imagery to build in that area where it does not have any image. This is so novel, y'all. This is such a blessing. I remember when I used to just fade off color on the edges of all my pictures, and I used to have to make hair for people when the picture was cut off at the top. No longer do you have to do that. AI is built right into the program. So I can choose whichever image I like of 1, 2, or 3. I think I'm going to go with 3. Okay. When I like the one that I like, I'm going to right click and tell it to merge down. After that merges down, then I'm going to create some extra meat up at the top here. Why? Because I need a little bit more at the top and bottom here to fill this out. So I'm going to go back. And here, I can do the same thing, hold down Control and Alt, pull it up, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit extra data at the top and bottom. Go ahead and hit generate and see what I get out of it. Now, I could have done the sides and the top at the same time, but Photoshop is only going to create so many pixels at a time. So you can stress it out and get a bad result if you try to do too much AI generation at one time. So sometimes it's best to work in smaller sections. So that's why I did the side first and then the top. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Let me see which one I like better. Now, I didn't tell it to enhance nothing. Now, well, I must have clicked on something. I'm over here clicking on extra stuff on my live. I should have known better. Shapes, how do you import more shapes? Miss Sadie, you can make your own frames. You're talking about in Canva. You can make your own frames. That's technically what the shapes are, pretty much are frames where you can drop images into it. But if it doesn't have a shape already in there, you're not going to make it. Now, in Photoshop and in Illustrator, I can make custom shapes. Now, I'm trying to figure out why this is doing what it's doing right now, because now this is making me nervous. I done clicked on something. I think I may have hit this little button right here. And I'm thinking that what this does is upscale it, but I don't typically like to do upscales while I'm doing live videos because live streaming already takes up a lot of resources. So I guess Photoshop is just ignoring me and it's not going to cancel. Photoshop has this weird way of letting you think you can cancel stuff, and it really can't. So let me see what's going on here. Push come to shove. I don't want to do this because did I save my work? I don't believe I did the save dance, y'all. All right, let me know if y'all are still here because I think I froze for a second. And Photoshop did quit on me. I was showing out, hitting buttons, and I should not have. And also, Photoshop is a little bit of a jealous program too. If you're on multi-streaming like Zoom or like StreamYard right now, like we're doing on YouTube, and then you're also running multiple programs, it can give you some trouble. So make sure that you're doing the best that you can to not give it that option to let you down. Okay, so here is my recovered version, and okay, at least it saved my colors and stuff. It didn't bring in the background, but you all see how I generated that background. That is the precise way that we generated that background in class. Okay. All right, cool. Y'all are still here. Awesome. All right. Okay, so now that I have all of this here, I want to show you what I do with it. Once it creates those, this is my lake assets. I'm going to create a new folder here. And I'm going to call this one like my yellow and green. Well, let's do 295 Lake Fishing Memorial. And then this one's going to be yellow and green. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything here. I'm going to copy it, open that folder up and paste it in there. What that does is it preserves those files for me. Because if I change anything in this file, let's say if I make this yellow hot pink, watch what happens, y'all. I'm going to duplicate. So this is how I engineer the files for y'all. I promise you, My goal is to make Photoshop fun and easy for you. Okay, so let's say I'm going to choose that hot pink. What's going to happen is when I change that here, and I'm going to hit save there. And it's because this is a recovered version, I'm just going to put pink at the end and put that in my 295 folder. And I also have this on a cloud drive. So trust me, if anybody's pushing the limits, I'm pushing all the limits. All right, so I updated color number 2 to pink. I saved that file, and you'll see that now it should make a whole nother asset folder that has the memorial lake with the pink. Okay, so see how it just made up its own folder here for the pink assets? All right, and I'll just let it load up here so you all can see that it's going to save the separate text. It'll save the photo image. It'll save the background separately, and then these clouds. And here I would adjust my clouds to where I didn't see so much pink in them. And y'all, we did that last week. So just learning how to change these clouds up as well. So I'm going to add my green there instead of the pink. And I actually like that so much better. So it's got a little green and gray in those clouds. And watch what happen. It'll also update the clouds here. Now the clouds won't be pink anymore. The clouds have the greenish grayish color. Okay, so this is how these files work. They're very dynamic. They're very well thought out. They have hours put into each and every template so that you can flip it in 5 minutes. Okay, that's my goal. I don't want y'all stressing out about design. I want you to use your best efforts to increase your skill level and go out there and talk to these people and get you some clients. That's what I want you to do. Okay, your work is going to look phenomenal. Your work is going to look like somebody with 25 years of Photoshop experience did it because they did. Okay, we are working this together. So with my 25 plus years and your years on top of that, you should be able to charge at least $20 for your artwork, even if it's just a 5-minute template flip. Okay, all right, so I got one more thing that I want to show you all. Basically, yeah, I'll go ahead and save that version. Okay, so now what's important is I have this beautiful design. I could use it as a poster. I can use it as a backdrop. I can use it as a t-shirt. I can use it for a funeral program, right? But what if I want to use it for all of those things? So I'm going to show you a few things here. I'm going to show you some large scale graphics and some large scale products where I use these elements. And then I'm also going to show you how I mock up several different smaller products with the same elements as well. All right. Photoshop, are you taking your time or did I not click on you? Now, this is a large file that I'm about to open up right now. This is a large format file, but I have made it so that it does a lot less damage. Like 1/100th of the space. It takes up 1/100th of the space that it should take up at full scale, the way that I've designed this. Okay, and I believe I have an accordion wall on here too. Oh, I haven't done the accordion wall yet. Okay, so with these same exact elements, this should look very familiar, right? I have the text up here at the top of the arch. I have the subject image here, which is our photo, and I actually have it watermarked here, and I have it repeated here. I have the first name and last name, which is text number 4 and 5. I have text number 1 at the top that says "In Love and Memory." I have our beautiful lake background back here. All of those things are making up this. This is a 2-piece art, so it was 3 pieces, but it only requires 2 boards. So if you're charging by the board, you will be able to make an 8-foot wide by 10-foot tall arch with only 2 boards. And I've done the engineering so that it automatically cuts those slices out for you all. All right, and then over here, let's say I want to do a backdrop. This backdrop could be a banner backdrop. It could be the foam board backdrop, which is 2 4x8, so that this makes it an 8 foot by 8 foot backdrop. Or you could also do coroplast. Okay, so that's what we just worked in. We did a whole workshop where we worked in a bunch of coroplast, and that's going to allow you to take one material. Basically, it's a plastic board, very, very lightweight, and you can do a lot of things with it. We also built these self-standing arches. So all I did was flip the image from last week and basically take the elements from our memorial design that we got very quickly in less than 5 minutes. And I used those elements and those colors to build out a scene for this memorial project. Same thing with the cubes here. If you notice that I use the colors, some of the textures, and then of course some of the images, and even like a poem here to decorate this setup. All right, so that's that part. And then I'm going to show you all this little thing I like to call the Automizer. And this is what you're going to get for your free files tonight. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you go to the Facebook and or the Instagram. You can just do one of them, but if you do both of them, it will make my heart happy because I need it for the algorithm, y'all, so I can reach more people and teach more people. All right, so I'm going to give you all the PNG files that come out from the Automizer, so you can tell people without any fear, I could design that. And you ain't got to steal nobody's image. You ain't got to worry about nobody's watermark, and posing work as your own. I want you to use this work. I 100% believe that you are going to be able to produce precisely what I have on this mock-up here, okay? Because that's just how the system works. And I'm not going to let you fail. All right, there's no creative left behind. All right, so in this memorial package, and I need you all to help me out here because we have the memorial challenge coming up. I want to make sure that we have some products in here that you all are excited about creating and marketing. Some of the most important products that you're going to do for memorial, yes, will be shirts. That's not what I want you to really focus on because everybody can do shirts, right? The funeral homes, I want you to look at partnering up with funeral homes. And with that, I want you to think about doing the programs. They need those programs done lickety split. They don't need to tussle with nobody, and they don't need it to take more than 24 to 48 hours to produce a result. If you have these templates, you can most certainly meet that deadline. Okay. But I want to teach you how to do it smarter, not just smarter, but genius level. Okay, that's what the Automizer is. The Automizer is genius level. It's not just smart, it's genius. Okay, so these very same images, we can use them to create pillows, blankets, keychains, neckties, even dresses, tumblers, mugs, table runners. You have gifts and party favors. You even have, like, if you need to make an announcement to everyone, like you need to send this out to all the family members, you can have a QR code where they can scan and send flowers or send money or get the information for where the funeral is going to be versus the repast and any additional information. That's going to set you apart just because you have that system about your business. Okay. Yard signs are good for this also. Journals, pens, the ribbons are very popular here. The buttons are very popular here as well. We have the casket panel insert. I am working on a casket wrap. I want to have it done by the challenge, but I'm not guaranteeing that because that is a little bit more of a feat. Okay. You all saw me do a little bit of mocking up today when I did the mock-up for the jumbo tree card, and that was a flat image. So imagine me mocking up all of these contours on this beautiful casket. And I like my stuff to look good, so I don't want it to look sloppy and somebody's face all stretched out looking crazy. I want it to look like a representation of your work. Okay, so I will be working on that, but let me know what else do you need. The dog tags are on here. The fans, which are very popular, the fans are on here. The sublimation slate is on here, right? These are very good keepsake items. I'm thinking about doing a clock, because I think clocks are very significant. What all do you want to see? Hey, Blake, can I show him that thing that you made? He's outside. Can you go get him and ask him if I can show him? Show him? Yeah, I don't want to show it unless he says I can show it. So we're even over here prototyping stuff for y'all. Let me know in the chat. Don't get quiet in the chat, y'all. This is y'all's class. This is y'all's free class. Because you all know I spend just as much time, sometimes more time on these Friday free classes than I do in my Wednesday Photoshop class, because we're usually out of there in an hour, unless I'm being extra. Can I show them the frame you made or no? Does it have to be plugged in or? Okay. All right. So let me turn on my camera. Doo-doo-doo. All right. Okay. So let me see if I can even get this to you all. This is something that came from some of the assets here, but took some work as far as video generation. But I want y'all to think next level where we want to take this. We're going to get, can somebody put pro in the chat? If y'all ready to go pro with your talents and your gifts, put pro in the chat. If y'all tired of hot gluing and super gluing stuff together and you want to make sure that your results are not only professional level, but you're getting paid professional prices, somebody put pro in the chat. Cool, cool. So I'm going to get up here on this camera for a second. And let me remove my little background thing. Hold on. How do I change it? Go to my settings, camera, and then virtual background. I'll turn off my virtual background. All right. So y'all see me. I'm looking crazy just for y'all. All right. There's a little light there. Can you all see? Oh, it's this camera. Is it this camera? Oh, it's on the wrong camera. But this is, do y'all see that? Thank you, Blake. Now make sure you turn that back on when you're done. Y'all see that? Watch this. And then turn into Usher on y'all. Look at that. This is from a photo. Look at him waving, y'all. And then he goes back to his pose. And beam me up, Scotty. So an acrylic frame, it's a video. This is what we want to start implementing in our business. Yes. Okay, so do y'all see these elements though? Don't they look mighty familiar? Foreground. Well, this one's subject image, background, text. Subject image, background, text. And then it's got some video effects that are built into that. Okay. All right. So thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. You did a great job. That's my brother, y'all. He always tell me, I don't give him no credit. Tell Blake he did a cool job. All right. So he's working on being able to offer that as a service, just to get you all going and flowing, so that you can create these type of products. I just want you to think of what this can do for not just your business, but what you're going to be able to do for the funeral homes and the professional businesses who you're going to make them look good by implementing these type of products. Okay. But check out the chat. You're getting your praise. But listen, if I give credit one time, that's all I gotta give credit for. After this is my idea. Y'all hear me? All right. So just letting you all know, you have the ability. They need you. The funeral home business needs you. Why? I'm gonna explain this, and this is why we're doing a whole challenge on just Memorial. They need you because they need quick turnaround, they need quality, they need hassle free. You all know how to flip these templates in 5 minutes. You all know how to create these mockups and these packages. You have professionalism. You have A1 design service. And y'all look at this. Do y'all see? For this design, we kept it simple. We only used foreground, background, a little tiny bit of text. And that's it, y'all. And then I put a poem in here because I figured for the back of the design, a poem would be good. Usually the back of the shirt has like a expression or maybe wings, or maybe it doesn't have anything at all, but I like a good poem on the back of these memorial shirts so that people really do hold on to them forever. And that's one thing great that you could say about sublimation. I tell people, hey, this will never crack, peel, or fade, and it will last a lifetime. This is perfect for your most momentous occasions, whether that be graduation, prom, it might be a memorial service. It might just be you wanting to really honor your ancestors and keep that peace. So, y'all, this is perfect for Christmas. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be a funeral for you all to really showcase the memorial items. So let me know in the chat if there's anything I'm missing here, anything that you want to see added. I even have cufflinks, and I have the scarf here, or this is a handkerchief. And then I do have the scarf on here too. That's a beautiful item to have because people can use that to, like, you know, when they're during the service, they can cover their legs with it. They can use it as tying up to really dress up their look. You got the dress there. Anything else that y'all need in here besides the casket wrap? I got y'all on that. Is there anything else that you all need? All right, and of the products, this is what we decided. We decided we are going to learn to do the cubes. I asked you all which large format product you want to create. I'm going to teach you the arches after the challenge, okay? So I will teach you how to design the arches, right? But we're only going to be able to do one project per challenge where we do some hands-on, okay? So instead of me doing the Shopify component inside the challenge, the Shopify component is still separate. So if you all want to do the Shopify where you all add the products to your store, you get the descriptions together, you get that knocked out in like 2 hours, easy, and you're adding at least 5 or more products to your store, and you're making a landing page, and now you have a page on your Shopify store just for Memorial. We will have that course available either on a Saturday or Sunday after the challenge. So then after you create all this beautiful artwork and you're ready to put it up on your website, you have support for that. And Coach Najla is your Shopify expert for that. The Facebook link I shared previously doesn't open up. My apologies, my love. Let me see what's going on with my Facebookage. What Facebook link do you need, my love? Let me see. There it goes. Customer happiness just dropped it. All right. I see Miss T, you commented pro. So I do have a pro workshop. Yeah, this is going to be a big deal. I'm canceling our workshops in January and February so I can focus just on the workshop in March. This workshop in March is going to be a large scale memorial workshop, but we're also going to be able to get photos and content from it for graduation and for prom. So in the beginning of March, you could knock out getting training with florals, which is a huge deal. So I'm bringing someone that I have been so in awe of his work. He's a super kind person, just really talented and just very much humble and helpful. And y'all know that sounds a little bit like me. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I really work well with this person. And his name is Chris, if you look on Instagram, look up Christopher Lauren. So Chris, as I call him, is an amazing floral designer, and he's also going to be teaching that component inside of this challenge. So this is going to be a huge deal. We're actually going to go to Miami to do this, or South Florida might be a little north of Miami, but so that we can get a good price on florals, so that we can go all out with florals plus graphics plus the experience plus really getting us together to get hands on and go pro. I'm literally going to go pro from home. That's right. I'm shutting down my shop, y'all. I have been holding on to my shop for quite some time. It is literally my bat cave, and I'm going to let it go so that I can show you all how to go pro from home, and then I can do more of the on-site visits, and we can do more in-person workshops where we're actually traveling and doing real jobs. Okay, so for that to happen, I need y'all to show up and I need y'all to show out. All right. I don't want you all to be crafting forever. I don't want you all to get stuck in this phase where you only feel like you can charge so much because you don't feel like your skills are up to par. You all have phenomenal skills. I watch you every single week crush it, not just with Photoshop, but the way that your mind works to flip these designs and come up with concepts, use trending uh, things that are going on in the world, things that are trending on Etsy. You all put these things together. So you have a business mind. I just want you to start putting your skills to where they are showing professional level results and that you can charge a professional fee for what it is that you do. So that's why I told y'all to listen. If y'all ready to go pro, I'm ready to take you there, and I want to see high level designs. I want to see high level execution, and I really want to see your high level results when you all are charging accordingly. Yes, Chris is amazing. Yep, yep. Okay, so we're going to be doing a casket wrap. We're going to be doing the photo boards. We're going to be doing the cubes, the possibly the accordion wall. I think we're going to actually do a different installation. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be big. It's going to be extra. Y'all know I'm extra. Chris is extra too. So that just works out so beautiful. And I want to make sure that that we have you all in the building so that you can benefit from this experience. Chris's Instagram, and tell Chris I sent you. Let me pull it up. Let me first go to Instagram. Christopher Lauren. So Christopher Lauren, you see him there with Jada, did some work with 21 Savage, Big Lotto, Sisters. I think he just said today he worked with Master P. So listen, I want you all to know that we are going to the pros. Okay. If y'all are ready to go to the pros with us, come on. We said we was crafting to quit. Now we got to quit the crafting and quit the hobby, get into the pro mode, and go next level. All right. So, free files for tonight, y'all. Let me go ahead and get y'all free files tonight because I already know. Let me see. Did I already make your? I took all of this stuff already and made Automizer files. So you all have the results from the Automizer. And I ain't selling y'all nothing tonight. Unless, do y'all want a deal? Let me know. It's basically Christmas. I'm not going to see y'all for Christmas. What do you want? What do you really, really want? And if I can give it to you, I will give it to you. What type of like you would just flip your wig if you were like, oh my gosh, Shannon, if I could just get this Automizer, if I could just get this class, if I could just get my hands on this thing, I've been waiting on it. Tell me in the chat what that is for you, and I will see Okay, it still has the Wicked files. All right, well, let me go make y'all stuff. Tell me in the chat, make y'all's wish list. And if it's something reasonable, even if it's not reasonable, and I'm just like, you know what? Bump it. It's Christmas time. 2024 is about to be over. I ain't gonna get in no trouble. It just is what it is. I'll make it happen tonight. Do y'all want, we're gonna do another Automizer class at the end of the challenge. So we will have another Automizer class. And then even if you need help one-on-one, just let us know. Oh, the garden flag. Okay. So customer happiness, if you can put that down, the garden flag in the memorial, I can add that one because we already have that in the Automizer. I just need to add it to the memorial. What else do y'all need? Miss Keisha, if you really want to learn Photoshop, I would suggest that you come join the gold membership. The gold membership. Hold on, y'all. I'm just tapping on my cup and I ain't doing no work and I got y'all just looking at this dead screen. So the gold membership is where you're going to get live Photoshop help every single week. And it is a whole project that you're going to get done while you're in the live class. So that one is here. So during this, you get 4 live classes. You also unlock 4 pre-recorded, like older templates. So basically, you get our 4 OG classes every month, plus 4 live classes every month. And it now includes our AI classes that we do every single week. So we do AI class on Tuesday right now at 8 p.m. and we do Photoshop Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you can't make it to the live class, you have the recording as well. But the whole point is that you get your hands on the AI, you get your hands on the Photoshop with live help, with live coaches, and that's going to help you learn Photoshop so much faster and so much more efficient, just like we did tonight. All right, Sunny, you got it during Black Friday. Awesome, awesome. All right, so what do you all need? So there was a deal that I was running for the yearly for the gold membership. I also had, let me tell you, I had all kind of stuff open. I had an unlock all of your classes. So we have over 190 Photoshop classes. We have over 55 now. We have 55 AI classes. And you can unlock all of those at one time as long as you have an active membership, whether it be gold. And Craft to Quit is closed until we open back up after the challenge. So, Miss Sadie, tell me, make me an offer. What do you want to do? What do you want me to do to get you this gold membership? What is your heart's desire? Shopify class. Okay, so Melissa, Coach Nasha had a Shopify class for the last challenge last month, and she will have another one more than likely after this challenge. But y'all gotta sign up for the classes. Earns. Okay. I like that. Let me put that on my notes as well. So you all said the garden flags and the urns. Garden flags and urns. All right. And then let me get y'all's free files going on for tonight. So inside of my whole PNG folder, I'm going to take this file here. So here's what y'all get. This is what the Automizer outputs. Is anybody like ready to do an Automizer class? Y'all are just burning up to do an Automizer class where you get this output, because I am thinking of doing that the weekend after the challenge, but we could do one earlier if it's enough of y'all ready to roll. Let's see. So here are your mock-ups. And as you can see with the mock-ups, this is what you put in your Shopify store, right? These are your individual products ready to go. You can also build bundles with these mock-ups, but I'll show you how to do that with the Automizer as well. And then these are your printable files. So this is printing out one keychain. This is printing out one Hershey bar. This is printing out the invitation, bag covers, socks, water bottle labels, mugs, tumblers, the gift boxes, DTF shirts, chip bag. Do you see how it creates all of this? We took that one shirt design. Now, I didn't show you all the Automizer this time because we spent more time in the Canva and the Photoshop, but I will show you the Automizer. I will get you in there. So all we do for this one is just change these little elements right here on this board. And then it propagates and makes, just from this one board, these elements here, takes those elements and makes all of these products. It makes the mock-ups, it makes the printable, and then it also makes these, I call them stages, but these are like your packages. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in y'all's package too in the whole PNG folder. All right, so that you'll have that as well. So even if you do not have the Automizer, even if you don't have the template, push it and promote it like you do. You hear me? Because what'll happen is people will want what it is that you're showing them, and you will be able to produce it. We can help you produce it. All right, and then I'm just going to go ahead and change out this little Facebook one so I can give y'all a Facebook banner. Just change your Facebook. If you don't do anything else, just change your Facebook banner. It'll get people interested. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give y'all this Facebook banner too. And how many of you all are doing or looking forward to doing the event design stuff, like this stuff here? Anybody interested in doing this stuff? Because I'll go ahead and put that on there too. And let's see here. I want to take all of this without the drapes. Let me group that. Boom, boom. I'm going to label this as event design large format. So this is large format printing and production. This is what I will be teaching for the workshop primarily. All right, so I'm going to give you these mock-ups as well, so there will be no excuses. You all will have mock-ups and designs that definitely look high level and professional. I think the only thing I want to keep is I want to keep my floor. Yeah, we may have a little cutout here or there. Let's see. We'll put that over here for right now. All right, and remember I was telling you all that these images are so huge, I really don't want, I'm not going to put them in the Automizer right now because they're just so huge. So what I do is I design them separately, and then I'll bring them into my mock-ups just so that I can showcase these products. But I teach you all how to design and use these as well. All right, so then I'll go ahead and export this one for you all too. Quick export as PNG. All right, so y'all have all of those images now to market. Let me check on y'all in the chat and see if y'all gave me any deals that y'all wanted. So TV trays, Ernique did ask me about TV trays. So that, and then Broderick asked me about doing the Hobby Lobby panel. I forget what they call it, but y'all know what I'm talking about, like the little trifold Hobby Lobby panel. So, and because they came to the workshop, they have priority in those. So I have the Hobby Lobby panel and the TV trays. Now I need y'all to show me some pictures of what, because I don't want to assume that I know what y'all are talking about for these things. All right, so let's see. Did we get everything here? Yep. So I'm even giving y'all the printable files. So I don't know if y'all know this, but Automizer makes the printable files too. So then you can at least test out these printable files and make some chip bags, make some water bottle labels. You know, if you have some material sitting around, maybe even make a ribbon or whatever you can get your hands on to just get in the game. Okay. All right, you got your floor wrap, like all of this stuff. All right, so let me do this. Let me go ahead and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in my freebie files. And then for those of you all who are in Craft to Quit, you don't have to download the freebie files. It's automatically going to be on the back end. Can I show you all some other stuff? Well, let me do this first. I want to show you all some stuff I've been working on, and I want y'all to tell me what you're excited about, so I can bring those about as classes. Now, go to freebie, Shannon. Do this first. Do this first now. And there's a lot of files, y'all. I don't know if y'all just collecting these files like Pokemon, or you putting them out there. Are you using them in your email? Are you using them in your social media? Are you putting them in text messages to your friends and family members? Let them know what you can make. What are you using these files for, and how can they be useful to you? All right, today's date is 2024, 12/20. And then I'm going to go ahead and zip this up because this is a huge old file, y'all. Now, the only way that you're going to get the files is if you commented Friday on the Instagram or the Facebook post. It will send you a link where the files are going to be. If you have not done that yet, please do so before we get off of this live. And then I'm going to clean up just a little bit of cleanup on that that file for Craft to Quit, and the mock-up with the design file for the jumbo treat cards. And then I really want to see what you all do with those. All right, looks like that's almost done zipping up. All right, and now Sandy's mom, if you can't comment on the YouTube video, for some reason it won't do it on the YouTube, you have to comment on the Instagram or the Facebook post, and then it will give you the link. All righty, my love, so that is cooking right there. All right, we are good to go for tonight. Now I don't know if I'm going to be tapping in this weekend at all. I probably will be doing some random projects. I may pop up on y'all. I don't know. But if I don't see you all this weekend, just wanted to let you all know we're taking next week off for Christmas, because Tuesday is Christmas Eve and Wednesday is Christmas. So I know I love y'all and I know y'all love me too. But you probably want to spend some time with your family on Christmas Eve and Christmas. So we are going to reconvene classes on the following Monday. And y'all, we're getting right to it because it's challenge week. So we're going to get to our memorial challenge and making sure that we're rocking that out. And y'all already know how challenge week goes. If you're in Craft to Quit, then you will get the challenge for free. If you're not in Craft to Quit, you will have the opportunity to purchase a ticket. It's first come, first serve, and we do have limited seats because I don't like a big live class. I like an intimate live class where I can really help you all get Canva done, Photoshop done. We're going to do some AI artwork, and we're also going to work with the mini Automizer. All right. All right. So it looks like my file might be ready for me to, to drop it like it's hot on the back end of this course. So I will do that for you all. Look out for that in the next 5 minutes. Just refresh your course there. And then for Craft to Quit, give it a little moment as well. And you'll see it on your back end on the bonus freebie files. Okay. So I just want to say for you all, let me make sure my camera is on. Let me do this one right here. Okay. I just want to make sure my camera's on, even though I'm tired, I'm looking like it. I just want to say that I am extremely grateful. I'm extremely blessed. I know you all are extremely blessed, and we are blessed in each other's company. And I want to ensure that this academy is bringing you all value. For sure, you all are bringing me value to my life and my family. And I just want to say thank you for that. I'm extremely grateful. This has been a dream, literally a dream that is playing itself out every single day for me. I love that I can wear a t-shirt and biking shorts. Every single day is my uniform. I love that I can have my family, my niece and nephew homeschool and literally be learning this stuff right along with you all in Tuesday and Wednesday classes. I love that you all are really exploring what many of you thought was just, oh, I just want to make t-shirts for, my niece, or I want to just make a little birthday party, little trinkets and that sort of thing. You all have taken something that you thought was just an itch and you are really exploring it. You're putting all in because you know this is your creative process, this is your gift. And I thank you so much for trusting me with your God given gifts. Okay, that is a big deal for me. I do not take it lightly. So when I aim to bring you all next level stuff, I promise you, I may be playful, but I don't come to play. Like, I really want to see you all at your highest levels of yourselves, the highest level of your business. And more importantly, I want to see you all really partake in your own freedom. And yes, we work, but it's a different level of work when you are working for yourself. I would love to see that for you all. Most of you tell me that this is what you want to see as well. So as we go into 2025, y'all, it is going to be an obstacle that is going to be in your way. And I'm telling you that now because I already sense it. I already see it. 2024 wasn't quite as pretty as everybody thought it was. 24 was supposed to be the golden year, right? 24, it was supposed to be the golden year. What it did was it showed us that we have talents, we have gifts, but if we continue to squander them, if we continue not to promote our businesses, if we continue not to have consistency and discipline in our business, then it will just be a hobby. And that's not what I'm willing to see for myself. And it's not what I want to see for you all either. So in 2025, I want to make sure we are all the way live. We are all the way committed. We are all the way disciplined with what we say we want needs to align with what God gave us the vision that we already have. Okay. If you have the vision, you already have the provision, you already have the tools, you have the resources, you have the know-how, you have everything that you need to execute. It's just time to execute over excuses. Okay. So listen, For you all that are getting ready for tonight, I appreciate you all for spending this time with me tonight. I appreciate you so much, and I love you dearly. And until next time, bye. Good night, y'all.